the Afia Business Morning. Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. The opening bell, where we see activities from our selected stock exchanges. The global business, where we bring you up to speed on business activities making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Report, as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon, exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and Go TV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Top of the morning to you. It's Monday, the 2nd day of December 2024. Season's greetings and happy new month to you. Today, as always, we will take a look at the commodity reports and activities from selected exchanges on the opening bell segment. Business news stories from around Africa and the rest of the world will come to you on Global Business. We'll also take a look at issues affecting businesses in the southeastern part of Nigeria on the Eastern Business Report. And then finally, activities and conversations from around the market will come to you on Onya Afia. The Afia Business Morning takes center stage every weekday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. My name is Ubon Kings. Welcome to the Afia Business Morning. Trading on the floor of the Nigerian exchange is open today. The exchange in London opened an hour ago. The New York exchange is yet to open, while in China, opening bells went off at 2 a.m. local time. Welcome to the opening bell segment. And now, first, we're going to be taking a quick look at some business news stories that are making rounds. And we'd like to start from the global economy, where it's reported that Meta is building underwater cable to circle the entire globe. Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, is set to spend over $10 billion for a global underwater cable project spanning 25,000 miles, as it is also owned 100% of the cable's capacity, which is being led by Meta's South African office. And to the global scene now, European Union fights against corporate tax avoidance plagued. Let me trust you to know that the European Union's fight against 100 billion euros in corporate tax avoidance is plagued by poor enforcement and weak sanctions, as reported by the European Court of Auditors, as Brussels recently scored a win when judges ruled Apple should reimburse 13 billion euros in underpaid taxes after the European Commission argued the deal the big tech firm had cut with Ireland constituted an unlawful subsidy. Details of these stories and more will come to you on Global Business, and away from that, let's jump right onto the floors of our featured exchanges. Like they say, charity begins at home, so we start on the floors of the Nigerian Stock Exchange this morning, where the NGX All-Share Index over the weekend closed on low, fully by 0.28% to close at 97,506.87 points. You may be interested to know that a total of 515,494,184 shares valued at 15,082,540,015 naira 47 kobo were traded across 7,554 deals with equity capitalization of 59,107,423,917 naira 71 kobo. Now let's take a look at the biggest gainers and losers of the day. The biggest gainer of the day was HM Coal, which rose by 9.54%. Other gainers were the likes of Royal Export, Sovereign Insurance, Tantalizer, and MPFM CRBK. On the other hand, Regal Insurance topped the losers list with a decline of 9.80%. Other losers in the same vein were the likes of Lasaco Academy, Austin Las, and Cornerstone Insurance. We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll be looking at activities from other selected exchanges, the likes of the New York Stock Exchange, the London Stock Exchange, and the Chinese Stock Exchange, which of course comprises the Shenzhen and Shanghai exchanges. The Afia Business Morning and indeed Opening Bell. We'll be right back after this time out. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Afia Business Morning, and you are watching Opening Bell. Straight to the floors of one of our featured exchanges, and we are continuing with the New York Stock Exchange, where it's all rises in index values across the board. NYSE Composite DJ is up at 0.31%. The NYSE US 100 index is up at 0.21%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up at 0.42%. S&P 500 index up 0.56%. NYSE FANG TM index is up 0.79%. The Nasdaq Composite is also up at 0.83%. Nasdaq 100 is also up at 0.90%. Interestingly, also, while we go to London now, it's all rises as well. You're interested to know that pretty much all the stock exchanges this morning are all bullish this morning. The London Stock Exchange is all rises as well. FTSE 100 is up at 0.03%. FTSE 250 is up 0.24%. FTSE 350, FTSE All-Share Index both up at 0.14% and 0.11% respectively. Now let's go to Asia, stopping off at the exchange in China. Shenzhen is our first point of call, where it's also all rises in index values across the board. The Shenzhen Component Index is up at 1.72%. The SZSE Composite Index is also up at 1.67%. The China Index is up at 2.50%. And while we remain in China, let's move over to the exchange at Shanghai, where it's also all rises in index values across board. The SSE Composite Index up 0.93%, the SSE 50 Index up 0.57%, the Star 50 Index is up at 2.41%, the SSE 180 Index, SSE 380 Index, CSI 300 Index, all up at 0.90%, 1.35%, and 1.14% respectively. We'll take another break, and when we return, we'll be looking at commodity prices as well as a consumer price watch. And the open market, you may want to follow this program and join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap in the search bar youtube.com/Afia Business. While you're there, do hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe to get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. And while you're at it, remember, you can join us on Instagram with the handle at Afia Business _ to be part of a social media community. The Afia Business Morning and indeed opening bell will be right back after this time out. Stay tuned. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Akwamaga.
I am Chioma Akbala.
My name is Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in our market speaking.
Welcome back, and I am Ubon Kings. Still the Afia Business Morning, and you are watching Opening Bell right here on Afia TV. It's time to check in on commodity prices, where There was activity for gold in its upward movement today. I'm interested to know that gold is up 0.36%, silver is down at 0.06%, platinum is up at 0.44%, beg your pardon, palladium is up at 1.30%. Let's take a look at energy this morning. Energy, well, is a mixture of rises and dips in index values across board, with two dips being that of oil Brent and oil Bonny Light, which are both down at 1.29% and 2.84%. Natural gas, however, on the other hand, is up at 1.97%. Ethanol is up 0.32%. Coal is up 0.21%. Brass River, Kwaiba are both up with the same values of 0.01%. Away from that, let's take a look at industrial metals now. Industrial metals, mixture of rises and dips with, two dips, which are those of aluminium and nickel, both down was 1.75% and 1.38%. However, lead, iron ore, copper, up at 1.98%, 0.06%, 1.12%. Zinc and tin also up at 1.87% and 3.62% respectively. You're still watching the Afia Business Morning. This is Opening Bell. Do well to follow this program and join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business, and while you're there, do well to hit the like button, and remember you should subscribe so you don't get notifications on all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also follow us on Instagram with the handle at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. Up next, we'll be taking a look at the hikes in prices of food commodities in the open market, as well as the hikes in prices of fuel. And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow on the opening bell when the exchanges reopen for trading. The Afia Business Morning. We'll be right back with the segment Global Business. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned.
the Afia Business Morning. Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. The opening bell where we see activities from our Celtic stock exchanges. The global business where we bring you up to speed on business activities making the rounds all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Reports as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Thank you for rejoining me on the Afia Business Morning. Welcome to Global Business. We'll be taking a look at business news stories around the continent of Africa and indeed the rest of the world. My name is Ubon Kings. Here are the headlines that we're tracking at the moment. We're starting off with business news stories from Africa or in relation to Africa, where it's reported that Meta is building underwater cable to drive the globe. Away from that, European Union's fight against corporate tax avoidance has been plagued. And then from Germany now, Germany is to invest 2 billion euros, I beg your pardon, in the semiconductor sector. We'll bring you details of these stories and more right after this time out. Please stay. You're watching Global Business on the Afia Business Morning, and we would begin with business stories from the world of tech, where it's reported that Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, is set to spend over $10 billion for a global underwater cable project spanning 25,000 miles, as it is also to own 100% of the cable's capacity, which is being led by Meta's South Africa office. Meanwhile, entrepreneur Sunil Tangara, who first reported the plan, stated that the cable will cost $2 billion but would jump to over $10 billion in the next 5 years to 10 years. Although it's unclear what role, if any, AI plays in the project's motivations, however, the intended capacity and route are also not public. Now, quickly, let's look at some intriguing detail with reference to this story. Emphasis for me will be the last paragraph, that although it's unclear what role, if any, that AI, that's artificial intelligence, plays in the project's motivations, it went on to say, however, that the intended capacity and routes are also have not been made public. Now, let's try to put this in a nutshell. In a nutshell, to mean Meta, parent company of Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, wants to spend over $10 billion for a global underwater cable project that will span about 25,000 miles, and this is being led by Meta's South Africa office. Yet, it is unclear if AI, artificial intelligence, plays a fundamental role in the project's motivations, right? Motivations, rather. Plus the fact that it is the intended coupling is not made public. Well, if you ask me, this as the story suggests, there is possibly the possibility of artificial intelligence being the drive for this project. Not sure. Anyway, we'll see how all of this pans out eventually. And moving on from this, let's get into the world of tech again, where it's reported that the German government has revealed that it is planning to invest approximately 2 billion euros in the country's semiconductor industry in the form of subsidies in an attempt to strengthen Germany's global competitiveness and reduce dependence on countries such as China and the US. However, this is expected to go a long way in helping semiconductor companies significantly upgrade their current production facilities. Meanwhile, the new fellows Intel recently stopping plans to invest approximately 30 billion euros in a semiconductor factory supposed to be located in Magdeburg, which has come as a major blow to Germany, as the project with Schaffen AG and Wolfspeed Incorporated have also put their German chip production plans on hold, further weakening Germany's domestic semiconductor sector. Now, for sake of context, let me just make something very clear here. All right, number one, I agree that the German semiconductor industry is suffering some decline. Yes, no doubt. As well as other sectors. As a matter of fact, in comparison with the automotive industry, is not as significant. Yes. Now, the story that we just read carries the fact that the truth that the German government is planning to invest approximately 2 billion euros in the country's semiconductor sector in the form of subsidies. But if you ask me, I'll frankly say that if this was invested in the automotive industries, it will make a lot more sense. Yes, I say so because yes, I know that on one hand they are trying to avoid reliance on the US and China for semiconductors, but recall that China was slammed quite a number of tariffs on its electric vehicles because of subsidies, which led to low cost, right? In other words, you could actually get an electric vehicle for a friendly cost, isn't it? But here we are. Germany could also enjoy this too, I mean officially. And then the country has been in the business of automaking since 1893. Let's write that down, let's establish that. It has been in the business of automaking since 1893, as compared to chip making, which began to take prominence, so to speak, in 2010, thereabout, yeah? And these subsidies on the automotive industry can help with remuneration for workers in the automotive industry as well. But then, I'm not the government of Germany, so fingers crossed, we'll see how all this plays out eventually. You're still watching Global Business right here on the Afia Business Morning on Afia TV. Kindly join in on the conversation, and you can watch in live right now on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business, and while you're there, do well to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business related content coming to you from Afia TV. While you're doing that, remember you can join us on Instagram with the handle at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. Up next will be more business news stories from the automotive world and the rest of the world. Right after this time out, stay tuned. Welcome back to the Afia Business Morning right here on Afia TV. You're still watching Global Business down to the rest of our stories. And now, moving to the rest of the world, is reported that the European Union's fight against 100 billion euros in corporate tax avoidance is plagued by poor enforcement and weak sanctions, as reported by the European Court of Auditors, as Brussels recently scored a win when judges ruled Apple should reimburse 13 billion euros in underpaid taxes after the European Commission argued the deal the big tech firm had cut with Ireland constituted an unlawful subsidy. However, the Commission largely accepted auditors' findings, but noted that its proposals is to extend tax monitoring to personal taxes, and has been rejected by member states, each of whom has a veto over EU tax plans. Meanwhile, under the next mandate for the EU executive, due to start on that started on Sunday, tax issues will be dealt with by the Netherlands' Wop Hezostekra, who, as some MEPs have noted, has been caught up in tax planning scandal of his own. Really quickly, I really guess that this issue of specifically poor enforcement is not just the bane of African leadership and governance. I'm interested to know that, well, the EU has been fingered for poor enforcement and weak sanctions. And this is against the 100 billion euros in corporate tax avoidance. And interestingly, Apple too is in the picture. Apple has been fingered too in all of this brouhaha. Now, we are talking about Apple demanded to reimburse 13 billion euros in underpaid taxes. And hold off for a moment or two. What is underpaid taxes? And then Apple in the mix? Well, for the sake of definition, underpaid tax is, failing to pay enough of your total income taxes owed during a specified period of time. And with that, there is also an underpayment penalty, which is essentially an IRS fine of which Apple is guilty. Oh well, we eventually see how that pans out eventually. Will Apple pay the 13 million US dollars? Well, we'll find out eventually. And in a bid to end this bulletin, and from the alternative world, let's say that Volkswagen workers are set to strike in Germany in early December, and union IG Metall said in a circulated pamphlet that it was necessary. The employee strikes across German production plants come after negotiations with management over proposed drastic cost-cutting measures collapsed. Volkswagen will determine at the negotiating table how long and how hard the conflict will be. That's according to the Volkswagen workforce throughout the country, which is reportedly said to be ready for the strike. Now, Volkswagen, like several other European car manufacturers, is dealing with intensifying competition from Chinese rivals, slowing demand for their electric vehicles, and the German economy lagging for the last several months. Now, let me try to break this down real quickly for the want of the lack of time. Truth is that all this issue has been a recurring decimal all over the automotive world. Recall that sometime in October this year, the company, I'm talking about Volkswagen, revealed plans to shut down at least 3 German production plants, as well as cutting tens of thousands of jobs. It also demanded that the remaining workers accept a certain percentage of cut from their salaries. And well, how many people enjoy their salaries being cut? A 10% cut. Anyway, Reuters tells us more on this particular story. Let's take a look.
Workers at Volkswagen could go on strike across Germany as soon as next week. That's what the IG Metall union said in a notice on Friday. It comes amid a clash between Labour and management over layoffs and plant closures. Warning strikes at the car makers' plants across Germany are reportedly expected to take place as soon as Monday. It would mark the first large-scale walkouts at the company's domestic operations since 2018. Warning strikes usually last from a few hours up to a day. Volkswagen has demanded a 10% wage cut. It says it needs to slash costs and boost profit to defend market share in the face of cheap competition from China and a drop in European demand. It's also threatening to close plants in Germany for the first time in its 87-year history. Labour representatives and management will meet again on December the 9th to carry on negotiations. But the strikes could escalate into 24-hour or unlimited strikes if a deal is not struck. That would put a dent in Volkswagen's output at a time when the carmaker is already facing declining deliveries and plunging profits.
We'll follow up with this story as well as other stories that are still unfold and keep you in the loop. And talk about keeping you in the loop, if you want to get to our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel and pretty much watching live, drop up a comment or two. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, do want to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. And you can also join us on Instagram. Follow us, that is, with the handle at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. You're still watching Afia Business Morning Live right here on Afia TV. Coming up next will be a conversation around the ongoing 2024 Aba International Trade Fair. All of this on the Eastern Business Report after this time out. The Afia Business Morning, we'll be right back. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned. My name is Ubong Kings.
I am Marvelous Afia.
I am Chioma Okpala.
My name na Ifunaya Ndule, body and people na market pikin.